Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my YouTube channel and to the TMC The Michael Show. And today we'll be talking about the midterm 2026, and we'll be interviewing a very wonderful candidate for Congress. But first of all, I would like to remind all of you who are not so fluent in English that you can find the bottom right of the screen, the icon CC. You can hit on that or click on that to see the subtitle. Thank you very much. And I would like to congratulate to the great people of Texas. You really did a wonderful job in the primary where we eliminated the rhinos and we nominate the MAGAs to the congressional seats And today I'll be bringing to you one of those heroes who fought against the establishment, the DC swamp, and he will be representing us, not only in his district, but all of us to make America great again with President Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brandon Herrera, the Republican nominee for Texas 23rd District from Texas. Thank you, sir, and welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me on, brother. I definitely don't know about Hero, but I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to be a servant for my district.
Thank you, sir. And as you all know, Mr. Herrera is a very famous YouTuber. He has more than 4 million subscribers. I need just 8,000 more to get 200,000. So,
Well,
yes.
let's get you there. Let's get you there.
Thank you, sir. And we supported you when you ran for Congress the first time, and then you nearly did it, and then you tried again this year, and then you win. But it's a long story. So, can you tell us how could you make it to this part of the of your race?
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate the support the entire time, by the way. But last time, I never really wanted to run for any sort of office. I would leave that to the other people. I was always political, but I didn't think I would ever, be a candidate. I was never going to throw my hat into the ring. But Tony Gonzalez just had an atrocious voting record, and I realized that if somebody didn't step up, he was going to continue to get away with it. And so yeah, there you go. I remember that one.
Yes, I do.
We ran a good race the first time. We came within 407 votes of unseating Tony Gonzalez, but we just barely. They spent about 13 million against us. We just barely couldn't pull it off. And so I was hoping that his voting record would get better, that he would stop taking special interest money. He would actually vote in line with the people, and everything like that. But he really didn't. If anything, his personal behavior got worse, and he just truly showed no interest in actually representing the people here on the ground. So I threw my hat in the ring again. I decided to run for office a second time. And this time we had the ground team already there. We had everything ready to go, and the grassroots support, which I'm very thankful of. And we were able to beat him. We were able to beat him in the primary, which would have taken us to a runoff. But given the scandals and everything he had going on, he decided that being beaten in a primary, it was just a bad sign, and I don't think he was going to be able to survive it. So he stepped down. Not stepped down, but he removed his name from the race, suspended his campaign. And now I'm effectively the Republican nominee for District 23. And so now we get to take the fight to the Democrats in November. And I'm privileged to be able to say that no matter what, we got a bad rhino out of office. So looking forward to the future.
Thank you and congratulations again. Yes, you are right. He dropped out because he knew that he would be brutally defeated in the runoff. So to save his face, and yes, but you ran against all odds. We ran against all odds, and because he got President Trump endorsement in the primary, and then President Trump switched endorsement to you, and then he got the NRCC and the COF, all of them supported him just like the last time. But now we defeated all of these powers, and because you were you are the nominee, so you can bring the base out in the general, and that is the problem that rhinos don't will face if they are nominated, and but the Democrats, I don't know, they say that because you are the nominee, so the seat is more vulnerable, and they may flip it. Can you counter that argument from them?
For sure. Well, for one, the seat was way more vulnerable with Tony. I mean, given all the scandals, the guy couldn't even win his own primary. I don't think winning the general was in the cards for him. So no matter how things go down in November, it's going to be we'll have been doing better than Tony would have done. That's for sure. But the only thing that I've seen so far where the Democrats think they can flip it is I've seen my opponent, Katie Stout, put out a push poll. So it was a Democrat push poll that still had us up by 2 points in the general polling. So even their own polls, they can't even show a path to victory. I've seen our own polling on the inside. We haven't released that yet, but it's definitely a lot higher than 2%. So they're grasping at straws, trying to say this is a flippable district, but they're just trying to convince the Democrats to come in and spend millions of dollars trying to flip this seat. So we'll see how it all goes down. We'll see if they're able to convince them that it's flippable. But I think if they do their own polling that's actually honest, I think that they're going to learn that they're going to have a hard time.
So their own polling still says that your opponent is behind you.
Yes, correct.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So why are they pushing like that argument? But we have to be realistic that we need to mobilize, and we need to have the donations and do the grassroots again in order for you to win. And so the primary is over, and we gotta like we gotta move to a new chapter. Then you still have to work with the people in DC. How can you reconcile and cooperate with them from now to November?
And leadership always has, for the most part, there's some exceptions, but for the most part, they have an incumbency protection philosophy.
Yeah.
So if there's an incumbent Republican, they're going to protect that guy, whether they agree with him on policy or not. I don't really like the way it's played, but I understand why they do it. Now that we're in the primary phase, I've actually had great conversations with some of the folks on the Hill, some of leadership and things like that. And of course, even though we ran against the big guns of the establishment. I mean, they really came after us. They spent a lot of money here against me. Trump endorsed Tony in the beginning, obviously before the scandal and everything broke. But I'm happy to get together with them and push the Republican Party forward so we can get more of Trump's agenda across. President Trump switched his endorsement. He endorsed us a few days ago. I'm very, very thankful to the president on that. And I'm looking forward to working with House leadership to make sure we keep the seat safe. And again, move on to do the things that the voters put us in office to do.
Yes, and I really see how excited and happy the MAGA crowd was when they saw President Trump endorse you. And that's why I talk to my audience all the time, that sometimes they are so angry with endorsement for a rhino candidate or a rhino incumbent, especially the incumbent. I told them that because President Trump still need their votes in House or Senate, so he has to endorse them. So
yep, and that's exactly what I said when he first endorsed Tony. I came out and said that, look, do I like it? No, but I understand how the game is played.
Yes,
it's the don't hate the player, hate the game sort of situation.
Yes, and we have to do our part. The voters have to do their part to nominate the real MAGA, and then President Trump can happily endorse the MAGA candidate. So you did it, and congratulations on that. So from now to November, what are your priorities to push the race to the finish line?
So a lot of it's going to be tackling some of the issues that are in the district. I don't think we necessarily have to wait until the election to start trying to get some plans together, meeting with the sheriffs across the district. It's the biggest border district in the entire country, and it encompasses 27 counties. There's a lot of places in rural West Texas that don't get any sort of love. They have a lot of problems that nobody on the federal level seems to want to solve because they're not part of the big cities, so they don't have the big voting populations. I don't know. I think that's a travesty. So we're going to start working on some of that, some of the water rights issues and some of the oil theft issues, some of the things that are specific to the district, while also just putting plans in place, continuing to fundraise, continuing to show the Democrats that the seat is not flippable, that we are going to show up strong in November. But again, helping other good candidates and making sure that we have a good showing and that Republicans can be excited about who's on the ballot.
Yes, and when you campaign, you will face many difficult questions about your priorities in Congress if you are elected. So right now we have many things, and we know that because of the uniparty. So a lot of MAGA agenda is still stuck, and we need to help President Trump on that. One thing that that I observe is the judicial coup from the rough judges. If you are in Congress, do you support an investigation and a possible impeachment on those judges who didn't honor the Constitution, but to act like activists on the bench?
Absolutely. And it wasn't a thing until fairly recently, at least not to this degree, that you had this sort of activism in the judicial system. It used to be fairly, I know there was always judges that had a slant one way or the other, but you were still expected at the end of the day to put your personal politics aside and read what the law said. I think we've lost that, and it's very clear that there's plenty of judges that are willing to make their politics known, regardless of what the law and the Constitution actually says.
Yes, and yeah, thank you for that, because that is one of my top priority. Because like President Trump, he does everything. Most of the thing he did was constitutional, but then they got obstructions from the people in the court, and finally those leftist orders would be lifted, but it costs time and money, and the damage was done. So
Yep, they're trying to
yeah,
drag us down. They're
yes,
basically just trying to do anything they can to run out the clock
yes,
until midterms, and after that, it's going to be doing even more to obstruct. Assuming they're able to take the House this cycle, they're going to do everything they can
yeah,
to disrupt the agenda as long as they can, in hopes that they get a Democrat president next time.
yeah,
I hope they're disappointed, but that's the plan.
yes, yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And what are the other top priorities that your district want you to do when you're in Congress?
Yeah, we have, like I said, we have a lot of local issues, whether it's water usage, oil field theft, a lot of land rights issues facing Texas and West Texas specifically. But the three biggest ones I think that will have an impact, not just in the district but also federally, is one, immigration.
Yeah,
This is the biggest border district in the entire country. We share more border frontage with Mexico than any single district in the United States. We need to codify what President Trump has done to help solve the Biden border crisis, because he did it through executive order, which is fine for now. But one of these days, we will have a Democrat president again, and we need to make sure that they can't just undo it with the stroke of a pen. So it needs to be codified into law.
yeah,
Second, we need to get the national debt under control. We are tens of trillions in debt. I think we're approaching 40 trillion if we haven't hit it already. We need to get that under control, get single subject spending bills, and make sure that we're not submitting our children to debt slavery because we couldn't be responsible stewards of our money and resources. The third thing is we need to take care of our veterans. We have one of the biggest veteran districts in the entire country, with Fort Sam Houston, with Fort Bliss, with Del Rio. We have a lot of military installations out here, and a lot of retired military who live in very remote areas that aren't getting the help that they deserve. And so that's one of the things that we want to try to work with VA Secretary Doug Collins on changing.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the top priority is codifying President Trump's executive order, so there will be no lawsuits and obstruction from the judicial branch. And I believe that you will be a very effective vote and a good voice for the American people in Congress. So, Mr. Herrera, how can people donate to your campaign and follow your social media and to catch up on your campaign, sir?
Absolutely. So it's BrandonHerreraForCongress.com. There'll be links to different social media and stuff like that there, but you can learn more about the platform, learn more about what I stand for. And if you want to get involved, you can volunteer there, or you can donate to the campaign. Every little bit helps, because we're trying to show them we can still out fundraise them, and that this district is very, very safe. So that's the idea. So there'll be a list of upcoming events and different things like that. But we've got a very solid team. I'm very proud of my team, frankly. I think we ran a really good race, and we went up against the guns of the establishment, and we won. And I have my donors to thank. I have all the people that small dollar donors who contributed, who believed in us. I have my volunteers, my staff, and people like you that helped us get the word out. So I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. So so your website is BrandonHerreraForCongress.com.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and your social media is on that. Yes, so, and to my audience, please donate to his campaign, BrandonHerreraForCongress.com. He got a nomination. Now he needs your help to finish the race in November and elect him to DC so he can fight for us to codify President Trump agenda and to make America great again for the following years, because we know after the midterm there will be the more elections to come and more fights from the Democrats too and from the leftists too. So we need warriors like him. Mr. Herrera, I wish you all the best. We are so happy that you win a nomination after many fights with you. So I wish you all the best to your campaign, and whenever you need us, please let us know, and we are always here for you. We have your back.
Thank you, brother. It means a lot, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support throughout the years. It really means a lot.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And Godspeed. And to my audience, thank you for enjoying the show. Please share the video to everyone. I know you have many friends that loves Brandon Herrera and his Second Amendment shows, and you see the guns at the background. So please share the video and call for support for him. Thank you, and I'll see you again.